expert in your area. Then training within your organization, training other organizations, CAD CAM, data analytics. This is a very big area which has come up, and upskilling the workforce. Then technical reviews. I'll speak a little bit in Hindi also, as Dr. Atala Khan has requested. So technical reviews, technical interviews, ये भी हमें करना पड़ता है as mechanical engineers. Technical appraisal of projects. अगर किसी ने कोई प्रोजेक्ट दिया है तो चेक करने के लिए कि वो प्रोजेक्ट सही है या नहीं है, लेने लायक है या नहीं है. और basically we have to develop new technologies. That is one main area for mechanical engineers and chartered engineers. Business development. Every business requires that there should be some jobs, some contracts, some work to do, and from that comes the money, and the money is paid as salaries. So business development itself is a skill which one has to learn and develop. Risk assessment. कोई ऐसा चीज ना करें जिसमें risk ज़्यादा हो, and one has to take some risk in life. So what is the assessment of the projects from the risk side? That also is one of the jobs of the mechanical engineers. So these are the different types of areas where mechanical engineers can do jobs. And coding, etc. also is important. I'm a mechanical engineer. I also do coding. I have done coding with BASIC, Fortran, 77, and a little bit in C++. So it's not that you do only one thing. You must have multiple skills. Next slide, please. Sector-wise, there are different sectors which take jobs for mechanical engineers. They are required in the energy sector, in the water sector, transport, defense, the knowledge sector. If your core knowledge in mechanical engineering is required, then you will be there also. Then health tech, then edutech, agri-tech, fintech, infotech. The medical machines and equipment in health, educational tools and equipment, agricultural machines, harvesters, threshers, planting machines. All these are basically designed by mechanical engineers, manufactured also by mechanical engineers. Fintech, there are banking companies who take mechanical engineers. If some company seeks a loan from a bank, then they need an engineer to go and see whether the company has got all the requisites and whether all the machines and equipment, whether they are functioning, etc., before deciding for the bank to give loan. And information technology. Then jobs are available in public services. You can join the civil services, IAS, IPS, the police. The fire department has mechanical engineers. Even courts have some mechanical engineers. Diplomatic services, IFS. Then central and state government jobs. I was seeing yesterday that there are 348 public sector units, central public sector units, and 636 state public sector units. तो करीब 1000 पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट्स हैं, PSUs हिंदुस्तान में, जिसमें से कम 900 जो हैं ऐसे हैं जो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स को रिक्रूट करते हैं हर साल. Then there are private firms में भी आप जा सकते हैं. And then entrepreneurship. Why do you want to seek a job from somebody else, from whether government or a public sector or private firm? If you pass out and start your own company as a proprietorship company or as a limited liability company, you can, one or two of you can start up, and then next year you can take one or two others from your batch or junior batches. So if 25-30 people become entrepreneurs from one college or university, then over a period of 2-3 years, the whole batch can be absorbed. So you will not need to seek jobs from others. You can create jobs. So entrepreneurship is very important. Next slide, please. There's a concept of 3 sector, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Primary sector deals with the extraction of material from land, water, and air. And in this, if you see oil and gas, petroleum, yesterday's date, Naukri.com was showing 5,137 jobs for mechanical engineers. So in this sector alone, in the government, PSU, and private, so many jobs are available. Then there are so many portals where jobs are available. Then extraction, mining, you need equipment to be designed and manufactured for extraction. India is the first rank in mining in diamonds. Last year we had export of 19 billion USD, and year before last year we had 22 billion. It dropped about 10% during COVID. Bauxite ores, we are second in the world, iron ore fourth and coal fifth. There's a Dredging Corporation of India. So if you see our harbors and all that, like Bombay, it has only 30 feet of water. So ships which are more than 30 feet depth, they have to stay away. So dredging is important of harbors, lakes, rivers, lakes. If you don't do dredging of rivers, then they overflow and we have calamities. Then like Chinese, they create islands. If there's somewhere 10 feet of water, they will go there and suck up the soil around that and pile it up until it comes outside the water level. फिर उसको flatten करके वहाँ एक airstrip बना देंगे, कुछ अपना flag लगा देंगे, and then they will say that 10-mile radius around that island, all the water for fishing and other things, security that is there. So Dredging Corporation of India, dredging is a very important activity. Then quarrying. In quarrying in granite, then we need design and manufacture of machines for cutting, crushing, screening, washing. All this is a continuous process. In granite, we are the largest exporter in the world. Even from Rajasthan, with marble, sandstone, limestone, etc. Then in farming, 54% of our labor in India is in the farming sector, and they contribute about 17 to 20% of GDP. Even in fishing, we have about 1.5 crores, and we are the third ranking in the world in the fisheries industry. Then forestry also. And there's opportunity for designing and manufacturing bamboo equipment in lieu of plastic. So people are doing all these things. Next, please. Next slide, please. This is the manufacturing sector. Previous slide. In the manufacturing sector, we have to design equipment for mechanical and electrical appliances and components. Then the design of machines and equipment for manufacture of cement, steel, construction. Then there are 7 billion people in this earth. So more than 1 billion kitchen machines are required. If you go to your kitchen, you will find that koi na koi machine hai. I have a colleague whose son has a roti making machine in Singapore, and he's supplying from there to India. So machines से जो है kitchen में time कम हो जाता है और जल्दी बन जाता है खाना. So this is another area. With textiles, leather and apparel. My IIT Kanpur batchmate, he has got a leather factory in Kanpur. तो जूते बनाते हैं, purses, bags, बाकी चीज. फिर then there's Industry 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. Industry 3.0, Industrial Revolution, IR 3.0. That deals with electronics, computers, sensors. This came around in the late 60s when man landed on the moon, 1969, 22nd July. So they needed all these electronics and gadgets and computers in order to go there. And latest, since 2005, 2010, we have Industrial Revolution 4, which deals with robotics and 3D printing, AI, blockchain, VR, augmented reality, IT, etc. So this is going on. So it is necessary that these subjects are taught, irrespective of whether you are a mechanical engineer or electrical engineer or a signal engineer or civil engineer. Every engineer needs these tools because they are used in all the engineering science and application. Around 2010 to 2015, Industry 5.0 has started. This deals with clean technology, biotechnology, and convergence of biotechnology with and clean technology, convergence of biotechnology with human beings. So you know, if somebody has got a prosthesis or there is a spectacle for a blind person which can see through GPS as to what's happening in front, and through speakers here at the back, it can tell him what is in front, and things like that, like your Jaipur foot, which is a plastic foot, and other equipment like this. Then God has given us a lot of free air and free water, and that is what keeps us healthy. Now, since we are polluting the air and water, we need machines and technologies and design for equipment for cleaning the air, for monitoring the clean air, for cleaning the water, for making it drinking water, for sending water back to the earth for rain water harvesting, ताकि ज़मीन में नीचे ग्राउंड वाटर सही रहे. इसके लिए हमें मशीन्स डिज़ाइन करने हैं, ड्रिलिंग मशीन्स मैन्युफैक्चर करने हैं. फिर स्वीज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट्स, दिल्ली एनसीआर में ऑर्डर्स हैं कि कोई भी सोसाइटी नया हो, इसमें जो स्वीज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट है, nothing will come out. I'm in Godrej Frontier. A sewage treatment plant treats all the water, all the sewage, and then the treated water is sent up to the separate tanks through which it goes to the flush of all the toilets, and excess water is used in the gardens. So there is no sewage pipeline going out of the society to some municipality for sewage treatment, and from there to the rivers. So if every society does like this, then you don't pollute your rivers, and this at national level has to be done. Next slide, please. Then this is the tertiary sector, services sector. Services contribute about 55% of GDP in India. In Singapore, it is about 70%. So we still have scope for increasing the amount of services from India. The breakup of this 55% is that out of this, 45% is in software and IT, 20% in business, 14% in tourism, hotel services, 10% in transport services, and 33% in finance, banking, insurance services. Then we also have defense services, postal services, educational services, health services, communication and storage services, and technical consultancy and public services. All these are areas where there is opportunity to either make a proprietorship firm and create jobs, or join in some of these sectors and do the job. Next, please. Next slide, please. Then mass rapid transit systems in India, the metros. 13 metros are operational in 21 cities. 9 have been approved and are under different stages of construction. 11 have been proposed, and 11 have been proposed and are under evaluation, and 17 more are being proposed. So already we have on today's date about 50 metro systems. So this is a huge market for working in, for design, manufacturers of subsystems, for assemblies, for jobs, for components, for maintenance, etc. Then solar energy for metros on the rooftops of metro stations, then on the rooftops of metro coaches for design and supply. Then storage and use of CNG, LNG, fuel cells, hydrogen fuel, methanol, ethanol for transport. All these opportunities are there for mechanical engineers to join these metro systems. Next, please. Electric vehicles, this is a big market, new, which is coming up. There are new tie-ups, General Motor in Maharashtra. All these need mechanical engineers, mind you. Kia in Andhra Pradesh, Modi City, Muradabad, Hi-Tech Chennai. Elon Musk is in discussions with Bangalore for electric vehicle R&D center. So EV road vehicles, you have EV road vehicles, you have EV ships, you have EV planes. So in the road vehicles, the market consists of electric buses, electric cars and electric motorbikes, and electrical bicycles. Uttar Pradesh, UPSRTC had floated tender for 600 electric buses. So somebody has to design them, manufacture them, and then they have to be operated, they have to be maintained. Then e-mobiles is a big market. If you see Hero and other TVS, etc., the big spurt in manufacture and supply of e-mobiles. E-bicycle में बैटरी है, जब आप थक जाते हैं तो उस बैटरी को ऑन कर दीजिए, और जब घर वापस आते हैं तो बैटरी निकाल के अपने घर में ले जाइए और उसको चार्ज करा दीजिए. जब अगले दिन दोबारा जाएंगे साइकिल करने के लिए तो बैटरी नीचे ले जाके उसमें लगा दीजिए. तो ये भी जो है e-bicycles with battery power is one of the new things. Amazon needs 10,000 EVs in 4 years for distribution of courier goods. So that's a lot of electric vehicles which have to be manufactured in the next 4 or 5 years. And in the manufacturing process, they need mechanical engineers. Then Ola has said, I was seeing 2 days ago, Ola Electric, they have taken decision to provide 1 lakh electric charging points in 400 cities. 1 lakh electric charging points. So that is a huge network which they are supplying. Of course, this will be private points, which means Ola buses, Ola cars, Ola mobiles, Ola cycles will get charged there. But again, they need people for operating, for manning, for maintaining all these equipment. Lithium-ion batteries. This is समथिंग नाउ लिथियम जो है इज इन शॉर्ट सप्लाई, बट अगर आप मेंडलीव टेबल देखेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि लिथियम और सोडियम अगल बगल में है. सो सोडियम can be used because there's no shortage of sodium in the seas, whereas there's shortage of lithium, and University of Denmark is working in this area. There's a company in Bangalore, Log9 Materials. You can check on the net. Log9 Materials जो हैं, they have made metal air water battery. Means एक बैटरी है जिसमें एक एल्यूमिनियम प्लेट है और उसमें पानी भरना पड़ता है. वो एल्यूमिनियम प्लेट और पानी के बीच में हाइड्रोक्सिल आयंस बन के इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास होता है और इसमें 500-600 किलोमीटर तक ये कार जा सकती है. उसमें सिर्फ पानी भरना पड़ता है और आई थिंक 900 और 1000 किलोमीटर्स में वो एल्यूमिनियम प्लेट कंज्यूम हो जाता है, तो उसको चेंज करना पड़ता है. These are all new things which are coming up, and there are students who have developed these things. Next slide, please. Next slide, Make in India. So Government of India has set aside 4 lakh crores for domestic manufacturing. So, and they have said that from after 2027, they will not procure these things, but import these things, which means that if in the Indian market you can design, manufacture and supply these equipments or parts or components or even small screws or small things, then you are in business. And they have said that the government, DRDO, will provide the technology free of cost to anybody in India who wants to manufacture this. Or you can take the technology if you make your own company from America, from Israel or Russia or wherever you like. So there's a lot of money here, and there's requirement of government for security of the country, for manufacturing all these things. And whereas you are not going to manufacture an artillery gun or a helicopter, but you may manufacture some small component for that system. Maybe some inverter or some small mechanical component or some structural item. So there is opportunity, and then you can supply it to the person who's assembling all that together. Next slide, please. Biofuels. The government imported 11 crores of biofuels in 2020. This is 30% of total imports. Last year, it was 10% less due to a lot of solar installations being set up and also due to COVID. गवर्नमेंट ने बायोफ्यूल्स, इथेनॉल, पेट कोक जो है बैन कर दिया है फॉर इम्पोर्ट. तो ये सब हिंदुस्तान में ही बनाना पड़ेगा. अगर आप बायोफ्यूल का प्लांट बनाएंगे, सो अ प्लांट कॉस्टिंग 1 crore कैन मैन्युफैक्चर 1000 kg ऑफ बायोफ्यूल पर डे. द गवर्नमेंट हैज सेड दे विल गिव मनी. सरकार पैसा देगी. सरकार ने कहा है कि आपसे जो आप मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे वो खरीद लेंगे और उसका जो है प्राइसिंग भी कंफर्म करके, ताकि आपको ये अगर अच्छा लगता है तो आप ये प्लांट जो है गवर्नमेंट से प्रपोजल करके पैसा लेके सेटअप कर सकते हैं और एंड प्रोडक्ट भी सरकार को दे सकते हैं. तो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट हैज सेड दैट 20% ethanol blending in petrol is to be done by 2030 and 5% in diesel by 2030. तो इतना जो है इंपोर्ट कम हो जाएगा. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. बायोफ्यूल्स जो हैं अलग किस्म के होते हैं. बायो इथेनॉल होते हैं जो कम्स फ्रॉम बायोमास, बीट, potatoes, corn, etc., industrial waste. Biodiesel comes from fatty acids from non-edible oils and from municipal waste. Then drop-in fuels are fuels which come from municipal solid waste, where no changes are required to present engines. So existing diesel engines में ये drop-in fuels use कर सकते हैं. And bio-CNG, they can come from food waste, animal dung, sewage water, and municipal solid waste, etc. So these are areas where people are working at. And I know in railways also people are making biofuels in the workshops. So mechanical engineers are doing this. So you can also do this. Next slide, please. We are also importing machinery, computers, electronics, which is $95 billion, 20% of our imports. Things like telephones, vehicle parts, semiconductors, we can make in India. We import gold, but we export more gold than we import. Then we export diamonds also. Although we import 19 billion, but we export more, and gems. If you see our import-export in goods, last year we imported 630 billion USD and exported 320, which means we are exporting half of what we import. When we import something, we create jobs abroad. When we export something, we create jobs in India. So which is better? So you must start manufacturing stuff in India, and this is for the goods. In the services sector, we imported last year $120 billion, but we exported 240 billion. So we are doing very well in services. We are exporting, but we need to do more. As I showed you that slide where Singapore is doing 70%. Next slide, please. Mainly we export to USA, UAE, Hong Kong. What we export, maximum we're exporting refined petroleum, which is going to decrease. Then jewelry, 30% of the world's jewelry is exported from India. Packaging, packed medicines, pharma, 20% of world share goes from India. We are supplying COVID vaccines to other countries. And of course, there are issues there. We get the raw materials from abroad, so there is some commitment where we have to give also a little bit back to them. Rice, 27% of the world share we are exporting. Again, here, to make rice, we are using a lot of water. So we lose that much water, which also actually is getting exported in the form of rice. If you see cars, we are the 22nd country in value in the world. We need to step up. We have so many car manufacturers in India, but somehow I don't know why we are not able to get the world market. Next slide, please. All these car manufacturers, they hire mechanical engineers. Next slide, please. Yeah. So basically, as an engineer, what is your job? You have to use science, technology, engineering, and maths to solve practical problems in society. And through economical solutions. If अगर महंगा है तो फिर कोई लेगा नहीं आपका solution. And you have to convert scientific discoveries into new products, new processes. And engineers play an important role in nation building, whether it is bridges, highways, railways, dams, canals, medical equipment, transport, defense, etc., spacecraft. So engineers are very important. They do the design, manufacturing, maintenance of all this. Next, please. Then important skills for an engineer. There are three types of skills. Theoretical skill, your fundamentals should be strong. Practical skills, you should have hands-on experience, whether it is robotic processing or coding, software applications, programming, carpentry, electrical gadgets, machining, whatever. Practical skills are very important. And then attitudinal skills. This is the third thing which is taught in skills. You should have positive attitude. Then I have made this concept of 10C. If I'm recruiting somebody, I will look at that student or graduate, whether he has curiosity, whether he can think critically, whether he has creativity, whether he can work as a team, collaboration, his commitment, his communication, cooperation, whether he supports community, and whether he's confident in what he does, and also his conflict resolution, how to resolve conflicts within the teams. Other than this, learning agility. One should be able to learn quickly. Listening skills. I'm doing a lot of talking, you're listening. If you are speaking, then 90% of the time I would be listening. Then humility, decision making. You should be able to make decisions. Some people can't make decisions. Time management. Time is very important, and it doesn't wait for anybody. So you should know how to use your time judiciously and effectively. Teamwork, leadership. Then you should be self-motivated. You should be able to do negotiation, problem solving, and technical writing. Most of these skills, many you may be having, so you should use these in your CVs so that the soft skills, people know the company where you are applying ki what sort of skills, आपके पास कौन से skills हैं, और अगर ये skills में कमी है तो पढ़िए इसके बारे में, सीखिए, कोर्सेज अटेंड कीजिए, और कुछ जो हैं कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को भी ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स में कुछ लेक्चर्स एक घंटों का इनको देना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Then presentation skills. Every time you will need to make some presentation or the other to your team, to your boss, to your board of directors, to your clients. So presentation skills are very important. SOFI is called Speak Out for Engineering. I think even Moradabad Institute of Technology, they are having a SOFI contests. Then project formulation, evaluation, proficiency in use of software. If I recruit you, I expect that you will come and start using my software. I'm not going to pay you for 3 months for learning how to use the software. So 1 or 2 weeks you must, before joining my company, know what softwares I have purchased from the market and try to be proficient in them. so that you can come and from first or second day you can start working on that. Then you should have skills in developing and using new technologies. Then budget, finance and budget, these are very important, because ye nahi ki I'm a mechanical engineer, I don't know anything about budget. You have to know about budget, how to prepare the budget, resources, your men, your machine, your money, how much to put in which project. Then financial management, how to calculate discounted cash flow technique, cost benefit analysis, social cost benefit analysis, and internal rate of return, which is over the project life, and annual ROR. So these things, even a mechanical engineer is supposed to know. It is expected that you should be proficient in this. Next, please. Then if a project is given to you, you should know whether it is technically viable. हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है या नहीं जो उसका जो करना है, और कमर्शियली वायबल, वेदर जितना हम खर्च करेंगे उससे ज़्यादा पैसा मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. Then marketing skills. The project has to be marketed. Negotiation with your equals, your peers, your teammates, with your clients, with your management. You should learn negotiation skills. This comes by attending negotiations, sitting quietly and watching how your colleagues or bosses, they negotiate with the other team. Then customer relationship management. You should treat your customers properly. If you lose customers, you lose business. Contract management. I was seeing 2-3 days back, Uttar Pradesh has got about 6,000 projects in the government. So each needs project management. So you need to learn about project management tools as a mechanical engineer, either MS Projects or Primavera or any other project software. If you're proficient in Primavera, which is a 4-5 days course, then you can be taken up by any company, because the projects, the software will tell which is the critical activity, which is the critical path, and so otherwise other activities get held up until one activity is completed. So if you're good at using software for project management, you don't have to make the software. You must know how to use the software. It takes hardly a week to learn. I have some colleague in Rights Limited. He was excellent in Primavera. So he used to be called for doing the project management in different disciplines of engineering. Interpersonal skills, as I said, attitude is important. Behavior also is important. You must behave properly with your colleagues, with your seniors, and with your clients. Next slide, please. Then every organization have code of conduct. In railways, I had General Service Conduct Rules, 1966. You can check it on the net. Here I have taken code of conduct from IMechE. If you do a Google search on IMechE code of conduct, you will get these items. Now, code of conduct is not just bribery and corruption. It is not even there on my first slide. It comes on the 12th or 13th item. First item in code of conduct is uphold the reputation of your own, your institute, your college, your organization, your country. If you go abroad, you're an ambassador to India. Speak well about the country. If you have some problem with the firm in which you are working, resolve it with your boss or with HR. And but don't speak ill about it. And if you can't resolve it, then leave and join some other organization. Your professional behavior, you should not injure the reputation of others. Most people you'll find they're talking ill of others. Don't indulge in this. Then you should be trustworthy. If somebody says this fellow cannot be trusted, then something is wrong and you may not get job. So you should be loyal, fair, truthful. And whatever action you take, you should ensure that the risk of that doesn't affect you, the workers in your organization or society. So there should be no compromise on health, safety, and environment. You should ensure that these are protected. Then your professional competence. 4 साल आपने पढ़ाई की, अब आप सोचते हैं कि भाई बाकी जिंदगी हमें पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Wrong. Even now at the age of 65, I am still learning and reading what's going on. There's a report by NASSCOM. They say that every 3 years, new skills are required. So after 3 or 4 years, you will need new skills. Either you attend a training course, or you read some books, or you read from the net and you try to upgrade your skills. Then you should perform service only in areas of competence. I'm a mechanical engineer. I should not build a house. I'm not a civil engineer. Or I should not design signaling systems. I'm not a signal engineer. Because if you do, then you may make a mistake and there may be accident. There may be damage to society. Then skills have to be used responsibly for teamwork and adaptability. Follow the laws of the land. See what is the copyright, trademark, IPR. Don't violate these laws. It is against the rules. It's against the laws of the land. Next slide, please. Then if you're an expert in your area, then don't mislead others. So if you're the expert, then the government will approach you कि बताइए इसमें क्या करना चाहिए. To give correct advice. And if your advice is overruled by your boss, then you have to tell him what are the risks involved. And if required, you have to tell his boss also. Then use latest engineering standards and codes. Whatever is the code, you should use the latest one, not old ones. Otherwise, your designs will not be matching. Then avoid corrupt practices. Avoid conflict of interest. If you're working for an organization and giving some service and you have some other personal interest of your own in a similar, or you are giving the same service to some other organization, then you should inform the first. And if it is not in your contract permitted, then you should not deal with the second. I had a colleague in railway board, his brother was in the railways. So first day when he joined, he informed the secretary railway board that my brother, Mr. X, works for firm Y for the railways. Please do not put up any of his files to me for dealing or taking decision. Judges also do this. If they have some relative or something, they will say, please don't put his case to me. That is called conflict of interest. Then don't review or inspect the work of your client for whom you work. Should do for others. You can't set the question paper, give the exam, and do the review of the question paper yourself. You, out of these three, you should do only one. Then non-disclosure agreement. If you have signed a non-disclosure agreement about proprietary or confidential information, then you should not divulge that. You should not be convicted by court. You should not go bankrupt by taking money or spending recklessly more than what you earn. And if you, agar khush nahi ho, to you don't resort to violence. Be civilized. Marpit nahi karna hai. That is mechanical engineer code of conduct. Be civilized. Don't break any laws of the land. Next slide, please. Then there's ethics and personal values and company values. Ethics basically they decide, they govern decision making. So it is basically on moral code of society, what is good for society, and what is illegal is unethical. But what is unethical might not be illegal. There are some countries where people do things which are as per the law permitted, but ethically it may not be right. So decisions should be based on justice. They should on objectivity. They should be consistent. You should give honest. Then due diligence. You should check up everything. You should do hard work and find out everything about the case before deciding. And it should be done with compassion. It should not be harsh. Then have respect for others' properties. You should not just pick up कोई pencil पड़ा हुआ है या pen आपने उठा के ले गए या misuse company resources. कुछ registers हैं या stationery है वो घर ले गए. So these are wrong ethically. Then personal values and company values. Personal values, we have fitness. You should maintain your physical fitness. If I employ you, I expect that you will remain physically fit. Otherwise, the day I want you to do some job or go to some client, you will say, sir, I am not well. So even during times of COVID, you have to maintain your immunity, maintain your health, do some sufficient exercise half an hour every day, take sufficient rest, and then loyalty, then commitment to the job, reliability. I want that you should work in a reliable manner. You should work in an efficient manner. You should be open-minded, should be optimistic, and you should have passion for your work. Companies, these are personal values. Now companies' values. Every company has some value chain, hierarchy of values based on which decision making is done. For example, some people give society more value than environment or institution or organization or profit or community. If you see Apple and Microsoft, they value innovation in preference to employee, customer, profit. If you see Reliance, Amazon, they give first priority to customer, not to profit. There is a company called Tom's Shoes. For every shoe that they manufacture, they give one to charity. In Africa, the proprietor of the company, he saw people roaming around without shoes. So he decided when he set up his company that if he makes any shoes and gets paid for it, then he'll make another pair of shoes which he'll give free there. So let me give you an example. There's a company which makes some drug and A, and there's another company B. So both have the same generic formulation with different brand names. Now, company A has got in its value chain society above profit. So now they find out that one of the drugs has created some problem in the market and somebody had a heart attack or something. So company A, since they deal society more than they give preference to the profit, they withdraw all the drugs from the market. Now company B, they give preference to profit over society. So what they do is, for the same problem, they issue circulars in TV and newspapers and pamphlets and notice boards that this drug is in the market. आप इसको संभाल के लीजिए, इसमें अगर आपको कुछ परेशानी होती है तो डॉक्टर के पास जाइए. But they don't withdraw the drugs from the market. So for the same type of problem, two companies which have different company values take different types of action. Both actions are okay. It depends on the value of the company. Next slide, please. Then internships and industry visits. You must, in your 8 years, do 8 internships of 2 to 3 months each. In your summer time, don't sit at home. Internships कीजिए. आजकल virtual internships हो रहे हैं. आप जो हैं virtually companies में जापान, अमेरिका, यूरोप में आप virtually internship ले सकते हैं और उनके problems और वो सब करके वो थोड़ा सा उनके लिए कुछ work कर सकते हैं और कुछ software setup कर सकते हैं या कुछ processes study कर सकते हैं या efficiency improve कर सकते हैं. आप उनको बता सकते हैं कि कौन से areas में उनको फ़ायदा हो सकता है. And then they may even employ you after you pass out. My daughter did 8 internships. She has done law. She has done 8 internships. Industry visits. Industry visits broaden the outlooks. You go to different industries, you see different cultures. When I was as a special class railway apprentice, in our 4th year, we had 1 week tour, industry tour. So we went to Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, and we saw 3 firms in each of the cities. And they were all diverse. So you should go to different factories to see how they work and what do they do. You will learn. Then co-curricular activities. Some institutions, they lay down what are the co-curricular activities which have a part of the curriculum which you have to do. So some of these include like debates. You must take parts in debates, essays, in volunteering organizations, in student council, because elocution, that will improve your presentation skills, your speaking skills. And some of these are essential and necessary in, I suppose, even in MIT, essay competitions. Extracurricular activities. These are outside the curriculum. So that's why it's called extracurriculum. And there are things like sports, musical instrument. You must learn one musical instrument. It will help you. Everybody must learn some musical instrument, and whether it is singing, dancing. I have never seen any singer or dancer who is, physically sick or unfit. They remain healthy because they are so active and they breathe a lot. So these things will help you. Either you do exercises and field games or these. Then clay modeling, animal welfare, etc. Next slide, please. Innovations add value. So it is either through reduced weight size, costs, processes, efficiency. So when I was in IIT Kanpur in 1973, we had huge mainframe computers. They were about half the size of a room for punching the card, then another equally big size for reading the card and for processing. So all that has now become it's all done in the laptop. Then we had steam earlier, now we have electric. Then we had oil street lamps I have seen in Bombay in 60s. A person will go in the evening और शाम को हर एक street lamp में तेल डाल के उसको जलाएगा, सुबह जो है उसको बुझा देगा. So all these technologies have gone, and now we have all new technologies. Now from space flight control systems, we are using the technology for onboard control management systems and data analytics. Pumps and valves from space technology are now being used. I have a senior in the who retired from ISRO as a project director. They have made a mechanical heart using valves and pumps from space technology which have been miniaturized. And they have tested it on a pig, so it works all right. So the new alloys from space, new materials for heat resistance, etc. All these are being now used in other transport sectors. So technology from one sector can be used in another sector. Then some technologies disrupt the market. Like we had photographic reels earlier, now we don't have videotapes, etc. So while doing your planning for your project or whatever product you are making, you must ensure that you must get back the money within 3 to 4 years. If you plan to get back the money in 10 years or 20 years, things may change. Things do change. So this is one important thing. Then patents. These protect the rights of innovators. There's also trademark and copyright. And then there are national NRDC helps individuals to apply and hold patents. Next slide, please. Then new technologies by engineers. Next slide. So fourth industrial revolution deals with artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual reality, cloud computing, data centers. You're a mechanical engineer, but you have to use these. You don't have to design and code or make these. It's not required. But whatever code and all is there, like if there is some FEM software, you should know how to use it. You can't say I'm a mechanical engineer, I will not use it. You have to use it. If there's a vehicle dynamics software, you have to use it. So there are 23 million jobs in the market today for artificial intelligence, and the skills are not available. For machine learning, again, skills are not available. And Amazon is giving free e-training. अगर आप Google में search करेंगे, Amazon machine learning program presentations, there will be about 23 presentations which they will show you. Because they need people who are trained in this, and sufficient people are not trained. So they are giving free training. Virtual reality, this is a $18 billion industry. Augmented reality, it's a $117 billion university. These lot of advertisements, demos for marketing and sales, etc. It is being done through augmented reality. In virtual reality, everything is virtual. In augmented reality, you combine virtual reality with the human interface. Like if you see Sunil Gavaskar sitting in the studio, the next snap you will find that he's in the cricket field, but actually he's in the studio. So that is augmented reality. Then cloud computing. This is big business here. We have private cloud, public cloud, government clouds, and hybrid clouds. And nowadays the data centers. A lot of data centers have been set up, and now from working from home and virtual meetings, a lot of data storage is required. So there's opportunities here for management of these centers, for setting up of these centers. You don't have to be an expert to know the data centers, but you can sort of coordinate, you can manage, you can supervise, you can market, and you can see that the things are managed properly. Next slide, please. Industry 4.0 continued. IoT, there are 30 billion devices on Earth, and they all need to be connected. There are 3 billion mobile devices. In cybersecurity nowadays, because of so much being done through internet, we need cybersecurity for preventing unauthorized entry and data tampering. Robotic process automation. Mechanical engineers must know how to program robots for use for higher productivity and precision, and where lesser human intervention and less errors are required. I saw in Europe there was some, the programmer had made a mistake in the X and Y coordinates, and there was a human being near the robo. So instead of the arm moving up, it moved in the vertical direction, it moved in the horizontal direction. That fellow got injured. So it is important to be competent in this and to check and verify that things are working properly. And don't go near a robo. It has to be in a protected cage. If you go inside, then it should be able to sense that you are there, and its movement should be restricted from yours. So such things are now coming into place. Blockchain, this is also Industry 4.0. All these things came in about 10 years ago. So it is necessary that the institution must teach all these things, even briefly, to all engineering disciplines. In blockchain is being used by Yes Bank, Kotak. Now even Reliance is using it through HSBC for letter of credit. So here everything is recorded and without human interference, and all modifications are also recorded. data entries are recorded. The government in Estonia is using this since 2008 for governance. Means they make the policies and rules, and then there's no human interference. So if you apply for some services from the government, immediately it will guide you through the whole process and give you the feedback. Not like you have to run and get into a queue and meet some official in some secretariat and stand in there, and then he may reply, he may not reply. All this is done automatically through blockchain. And there are so many apps which are being set up. And a lot of apps, Chinese apps were shut down last year. Almost about 100 apps and another 250 clones. And now we have all our local apps, Games 24/7, MPL, Dream 11. So even as a mechanical engineer, you can join and set up the apps. You can only give, it's not necessary that you do the coding. You can give the guidance of the system requirements, like what should be the inputs, what type of outputs are required. And like that, then a computer software professional will make the code for you. So MPL, Dream 11, Games 24/7, all these are big local gaming apps. 40% of the software industry in the world is in gaming. 40%. Next slide, please. Some new sanctioned projects. In Cochin, there is a boat which goes only on solar power. And now we have some planes between Canada and USA, New York, between Toronto and New York, which is on solar power. And some light rails in Europe are using solar power. The MMRDA in Bombay has sanctioned 500 crore project in Bombay from Bombay Port. It is a ropeway project. This is all a mechanical engineering job. Then Elon Musk has been sanctioned. These are all sanctioned projects. In Bombay to Pune, a project for Hyperloop. It's a tube in which a pod will go through at 1000 kmph. And this has been sanctioned 2 years ago. So, but due to COVID, it is a little slow. In another 2-3 years, this will be set up. So you will reach Pune from Bombay in 15 minutes. Then Metrino pods, these are sanctioned in Ambience Mall. So all these are mechanical gadgets and devices which use GPS and they move. It is like a horizontal lift. When you enter a lift, you press a button, it takes you to the correct floor. Here you sit inside this and press a button, it takes you to that place. So this is a sanctioned project. This actually, pods are there in Heathrow from Terminal 4, Terminal 5 to their parking. So you press the button, it will take you to the other terminal or to the parking lot. And it's on an elevated platform. Then Uber Elevate. This is a flying taxi. These are sanctioned projects in Delhi, in Maharashtra and Bombay. And there's something called Digital Sky Portal. So they need to manufacture these cars, which also have these wings which come out and then it takes off. Then fuel cell trains. These are now in operation in Lower Saxony. So there are, I'm in touch with Professor Mahajan at Roper, IIT Roper. He is an expert in this fuel cells, and this fuel cells is going to come to India in a big way. So there's opportunity for mechanical engineers in these areas. Next, please. Then manufactured goods, manufacturing, which is a mechanical subject. There is a $30 trillion demand annually. Then 3D printing. This is again Industrial Revolution 4.0. They are now doing printing of human organs, bones. Bones have got complex shapes. So they do scanning and then through 3D printing, they make the exact shape, length, size. Now even tissues are being 3D printed like pancreas and other parts of the human body. And bioengineering. These, in future, based on your genes, you will get personalized pharmacy products. In fact, I was hearing somebody in USA, he is talking about genetic sequencing, the coding, the equipment and editing, coding and equipment. So all these are absolutely latest, and anybody who invests in these in 5-6 years, he will become very rich. So these are the latest technologies. Bioengineering actually is Industrial Revolution 5.0. Then big data analytics and machine learning to analyze customer trends and to guide product development. Then carbon fiber industry, mechanical engineers are doing this. There is a company in Goa called Kyneco. They make the bodies of racing cars which are exported, and they also make the bodies of these speedboats. So there's a lot of opportunity for mechanical engineers to set up and to join these companies. Next, please. Next slide, please. As an engineer, you have responsibility to society, whether it is in design or manufacture or operations or maintenance. You have to ensure it is safe to society, to the environment, and it is sustainable, which means you use minimum resources. You see a country like Japan, there's hardly any land. Their designs for cars and all, 80% of the materials are reused. Either they are recycled or reused as it is. We can't waste, we do landfill filling of waste materials. Waste itself is a big industry. Then ethical, legal, societal issues, this is important. Then industry 5.0, convergence between man and machine. Then 3 Ps, some companies follow this. First, priority people, second priority planet, and third priority profit. So yes, you make a profit, but not at the cost of polluting. Nowadays, I was reading yesterday, the air is a big dustbin. We just pollute the air. We put our waste into the air and nobody is saying anything. Can you do that? This has to stop at some time. Then continuing professional development. You have to, every 6 months, every year, keep attending courses or read books or read from the net and upgrade your skills. And there's something called lifelong learning. ये नहीं कि 4 साल हमने पढ़ लिए बहुत हो गया अब हमें कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you don't learn, your requirement in the market will go down. You will not be required. Somebody else who has more information, current knowledge than you will be taken in his place, in your place. Next slide, please. You have to do self-learning. You can't expect that all the time you will be taught by some professors and teachers. You should learn. In IIT Kanpur, we would be taught the whole one chapter in 1 hour, and then we had to go home and read it today and tomorrow. And then on the third day, we would go in the lecture. There would be like 800, 900 students. Then in the tutorial, there would be some 20 or 30 students, and then we would ask questions of what we could not understand, and the teacher would tell us. So self-learning is very important. You should be happy if you get more than 1 hour from one professor on one subject in 1 week. The remaining time you have to learn on your own. So, and then you must learn new things. Then technology changes every 3 years. Then there are 130 million new roles due to machines and new algorithms in the workplace. So you have to learn these skills. You can't say I'm a mechanical engineer, so I will not learn all these things. And Industry 4.0, I told you. IIT Bombay is giving classes in data science, artificial intelligence, blockchain, robotics, for those who have got 8 years experience. So after 3-4 years, you must go back and relearn and re-educate yourself. Next slide, please. This is sustainable goals. As a mechanical engineer, you have to keep these in mind, that to reduce poverty, hunger, health, improve health, education. Next slide. Yeah. Yes, please. Quality. Next, previous slide, please. Previous slide. Previous. Then gender inequality, clean water and sanitation, clean energy, and decent workplace. So like this, then climate, life below water, life on earth. So all these things are important. And as a mechanical engineer, you must see these. If you see UN, World Bank, etc., they all look at these things. And most countries, the governments, they look at these things, which are very important for sustainable development. Next slide, please. Next slide. ये company है Pixel. You can check on net. Within 1 year of starting up in 2019, they are sending up microsatellites to space. 1 साल के अंदर students हैं. Next slide. Noka Robotics, within 3 years, they have set up equipment for waterless cleaning of solar plants. इतने सारे solar plants लगा गए हैं हिंदुस्तान में. अब उसको साफ कौन करेगा? तो इन लोगों ने कुछ simple robots बनाए इनकी वेबसाइट जाएंगे तो इनको आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। तो ये भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, 3 साल पहले इन लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। आयथर बायोमेडिकल, ये भी 2 स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने 3 साल के अंदर दे हैव मेड लो कॉस्ट रोबोटिक हैंड प्रोस्थेसिस फॉर एम्प्यूटीज। तो ये बायोमेडिकल इन लोगों ने ये बनाया है, स्टूडेंट्स ने। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। मोबाइल प्रीमियर लीग, ये तो आपने सुना होगा, एमपीएल, ये श्रीनिवास किरण एंड शुभ मल्होत्रा। 2 साल के अंदर इनके पास जो है, इनके मोबाइल गेमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म में 40 मिलियन यूजर्स हैं। सो यू डोंट हैव टू डू कोडिंग, you have to decide what sort of gaming program you want to make, then find the right person who knows coding and software who can do it. You tell what are the inputs, what are the outputs, you market the program, you sell it, and you develop it. So as a mechanical engineer, you can do this also. Next, please. Next slide, please. तो क्या नहीं बदलेगा अभी? तो वर्चुअल मीडियम हैज यू हैव टू मास्टर, क्योंकि प्रेजेंटेशन, इंटरेक्शन, ट्रांजैक्शन सब कुछ जो है वर्चुअल मीडियम से हो रहा है। और अगले 20 साल तक क्लीन टेक्नोलॉजीज, बायोटेक्नोलॉजीज, 5th इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन रहेगा। तो इसमें मुझे निवेदन है कि जो MIT की फैकल्टी है, ये इसमें कुछ लेक्चर्स इनको स्टूडेंट्स को दें हर डिसिप्लिन में। कन्वर्जेंस ऑफ मैन एंड मशीन, वर्चुअल एजुकेशन एंड इक्विपमेंट फॉर वर्चुअल एजुकेशन, education services, education softwares, virtual health services, equipment for machines for health services to be designed, to be manufactured, to be supplied, and medical equipment, and digital gaming, as I said, and cold economy. Due to global warming and everybody wanting an air conditioner, in 1980 we didn't have an air conditioner in the car. Now we want in the car, we want in the bus, we want in the office, we want at home, we want everywhere. We want in the shopping market, the super mall. We don't want to be in any place where there's no air conditioner. So there's a huge amount of air conditioning, which is a mechanical engineering subject. Learn it properly and find out what are the latest technologies and how you can contribute by innovating or changing or disrupting, so that you can provide a solution which is cheaper or more efficient than the existing. So over the next 10-15 years, there will be increase in requirement of cold storage we need for vaccines, refrigeration. You see these special refrigeration equipment we have imported from abroad, air flown for transportation of liquid oxygen and things like that. Then CO2 capture, storage and utilization. This goes on, this will be required in the next 20 years. So if mechanical engineer looks at these things, he'll find that there's opportunity to ensure that he is in business for next 20 years. Next slide, please. So Industrial Revolution 5.0 deals with clean tech, green transport, green energy, green buildings, green highways, green manufacturing, green and clean extraction, and green services. And biotech. We have Blue Water Biotech, which is for bio oils, photosynthesis. Green Biotech, which deals with BT corn, BT brinjal. Then Red, which deals with pharma, stem cells, genes and all. White, which deals with enzymes. Yellow, which deals with food. Gray, which deals with environment applications, sewage, etc. Brown, which deals with arid land, where you can, with least amount of watering, you can grow some seeds. Violet deals with ethics and philosophy. And then there's dark, like COVID and other things. This orange, Agent Orange, which was used in Vietnam War, which was sprayed on the fields in North Vietnam so that no crops would grow. So these are all biological weapons, toxins for death of crops, livestock, humans. We are in the middle of one right now. So one must know how to tackle these things. Next slide, please. You don't always compete with your colleagues. You sometimes collaborate. And there are 14 billionaires who have got together to set up this company, BEV, to make renewable battery, grid storage, geothermal energy, and fusion energy generation systems. And they've said they've invested more than $1 billion USD, and they don't want any returns in the first 1 or 2 years. These are all big names you will find first line. So collaboration is important. Like supposing you have an industry of, say, ropeway industry. So if the government takes some decision of duties or import, export or tenders or specifications which affects the whole industry, then all get together and they fight together. Or the wagon manufacturing industry, or the oil industry, any industry, while they compete with each other, they also collaborate with each other, and they associate with each other wherever they find that their very existence is getting threatened. So you need to have collaborative skills. It is very important. Next slide, please. I am a member of IMACI. It is a voluntary organization. It is 174 years old. It has 115,000 volunteers. We take graduates from any discipline, and there's a minimal, small amount of fee which is paid. And for engineering students and apprentices, the fee is nil. Chartered engineers from the institution of IMACI are recognized in 144 countries. And a chartered engineer is now becoming an essential requirement in many tenders in Europe and USA. So, which means they say that only those who are going to do the design or operations or maintenance should be chartered engineers. A chartered engineer is one who has been who has worked under some other engineer and learned some skills and then been accredited and interviewed and certified by an institution that he is capable of working independently in a safe and efficient manner. So, and then every year his continuing professional development is reviewed and audited by the institution to see that whether he is maintaining his knowledge and skills up to date. Then IMACI gives 16 journals on engineering, free access to its members, and a monthly professional engineering magazine, which also deals with technology and careers worldwide. It has a virtual library of 40,000 books, and it stresses on CPD through webinars, industry tours, conferences, technical papers, and presentations. And there are 130 types of awards. So members attending practical and theoretical courses can apply for an award, or to improve knowledge or the new language or skill, or to attend a presentation or a global engineering debate or essay. So, and then there are different types of awards. You can see from the website. Next slide, please. These are some of my personal contributions. The above on the left is the domestic container flat rail car, 45 foot. My contribution was finite element modeling and analysis and vehicle dynamic simulation. The one on the left is the 40-foot container flat rail car, which is working on Indian Railways since 93 or 94. And it is the fastest wagon on Indian Railways. And on top there is, on the right is bio toilets, which we have now put on 95% of the coaches on Indian Railways as part of Swachh Bharat program, in which Ministry of Railways got the award for the best Swachh program. And on the bottom right is the meter gauge container wagon, and that's the FEM which I made myself using FEMAP software and Nastran for analysis. And in this, using the software, we not only reduced the weight of the wagon, but we also improved its strength. Means wherever you see blue, then we remove some weight from that, and where they are yellow and red, we put some material. So that way we were able to make the wagon lighter. Next, please. This is a crash-worthy air-conditioned double-decker coach. Mrs. Mamata Banerjee had announced as Railway Minister on 3rd July 2009 that it will be made, and on 31st March 2010, from paper concept to product, it was made in 9 months. This is a concept which has been used for the first time, in which the stress from both ends, buffing load, is taken by not only by the floor below, but also by the upper deck floor, which is shared between the two. So this concept has not been used anywhere else in the world. My contribution as Chief Design Engineer was to lead a team of 60 designers in this successful development. Next slide, please. So, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, President of India and Bharat Ratna, he said 4 things: dream big, work hard, have perseverance and determination. So with that, I conclude my presentation. I'll now be happy to take up questions, please. Thank you. Sir, I'll take questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, student, if you have any query or you want to ask anything, you are welcome.
They will have to unmute.
Maninder sir, please unmute students.
Sir, student can unmute by themselves.
Okay, okay.
Any questions? Okay, I'll take up. Dr. Munish Chabra at the beginning had told me 4 things: placement opportunities, mindset of students, statistical data opportunities, and this most have COVID positive in their families. So, placement opportunities. First of all, there should be a placement cell in the campus, and it should be manned by third year, fourth year students, 4-5 students, and supported by a professor. And it is a job of the placement campus to make the letters and get the faculty to sign and send to companies to invite them for campus recruitment. And also the university should arrange accommodation for the companies who come for interviewing. So 1 or 2 days for each company. And that way you invite companies to your campus for campus selection. Then I have told you a lot about what are the different opportunities which are available for mechanical engineers. And you could either look at existing jobs, or you could start entrepreneurship as a proprietor. And you could either go into existing space, which means already there's demand and supply for certain number of types of products and services. So you could enter that, or you could get into some disruptive and new technologies by tying up with some companies from Israel or DRDO or others. So this is regarding placement. Then mindset of students who are working 9 to 5. If a job has to be done, if you're working for my company and the client wants the project report or the reply or the work to be done tomorrow, then I expect that you will work today overtime, overnight, not that I'll work 9 to 5. And then you will complete it and give it. Even in government, we work. Supposing we have an accident, if I go to an accident site, then 24 hours we stand there without food or water until the site is restored and the track is laid and the train can pass. Then we go away from there. So you can't say I will work 9 to 5. That it doesn't happen like that. You have to be committed. And AC room, for a laptop or for a computer, you don't need an AC room. In RDSO, our Director General said that, look, please remove all the laptops and computers from AC rooms. Keep them in the open. You keep a computer or your laptop in the open. Why do you need to work in an AC room? If your window is open and you're getting breeze or fan, that's good enough. So, in fact, AC room saps energy from you. Then third thing he said was statistical data for opportunities. I've given a lot of data in my presentations, and there are a lot of jobs available. There are a lot of public sector, private sector, government jobs available, PSUs. So one needs to, out of 1,000, there are almost 950 to 980 PSUs in India. At least 900 of them, they recruit mechanical engineers. So you can take up something there. Then Dr. Munish had said about COVID positive patients. See, it is your responsibility to maintain good health. For that, you have to ensure that your immunity is good. You take sufficient vitamins, sunshine, exercise half an hour every day, see that a lot of air should go into the body, take sufficient rest, have proper diet of proteins and other things, and don't unnecessarily mix with people and socially, if everything you can do from home. So, and then breathing exercises for COVID patients, and then keeping them in one room and seeing that they don't unnecessarily mix with others in the family. Please maintain social distance. These are the 4 types of answers which I've got for Dr. Munish Chabra. Are there anybody can raise his hand for questions from students, please? Siddharth Verma.
Yeah,
Yes.
Siddharth Verma, please speak.
Yeah, Siddharth, please tell me. Siddharth?
Siddharth, you can unmute your mic. Can you speak?
Siddharth, I can't hear you. Siddharth Verma's mic is now muted. Mic not working. Can you type your thing on the... Siddharth, can you please type it on message? I got it. Mic not working. Please type your... Siddharth, please type your question. I can read it. Please type.
Samay, you can ask your question.
Samyak Jain, I can please. What is your question? Samyak Jain, I can't hear you. Suggest some.
Sir, suggest some way and best book for GATE preparation for second year students.
For GATE preparation.
Thank you for opportunity during the pandemic that we have to do like you. What do we
got
get
his
online
question, sir. May I?
internship?
Yes.
So you're asking about GATE preparation in second year.
Sir, one question is this, and Siddharth Verma asked about where do we get online internship?
Online internship. You'll have to apply to companies. It depends which companies you want. I had contact with somebody from a student from MUJ, and that student approached a company abroad, and he got an online internship. It is just like applying to any other internship. Only thing that this will not be a physical internship; it will be a virtual internship. You can decide which company you want, get the letter drafted, take it to your professor to sign, and then scan, email it to the company that where you wish to get your internship. 2-3 companies you can apply. Wherever you get it, you please go for that. Many companies take virtual internships. Mir Ali has given the link for that. Thank you, Mir. Mir Ali has just given the link for virtual internships. So it is there, SMS, you can see that. And GATE preparation, from second year, you want to do GATE preparation. I think GATE preparation books are available in the market. I can, if you give me your mobile number, I'll check and I'll get back to you as to which books would be best. But there are many books available. It depends, like there are many coaching institutions which also issue, but you're saying you want those who don't want to go for coaching. So, okay, I don't have it readily available with me, but if you give me Mr. Avi Pandey, if you give me your mobile number, I'll get back to you on this, which books are suitable for GATE preparation. Although there are books are available in the market. I know for sure. Yes, next slide, please.
I think
Yeah.
time has come to
Yes. Close.
wind up this meeting. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kochek, sir, for sharing information in all to all faculty members of Mechanical Engineering Department and students. So I'm really grateful that you have shared and informed about what are the opportunities available for mechanical engineers, especially for primary sector, manufacturing sector. And the most important, what we have learned today is the opportunity in metro rail transport system and EVS.
Yes.
Defense and biotech field. So all these 4 elements are readily available for exploring for our students. So these are the 4 major things which I have noted down for my students, and I will request all faculty members as well as students to explore, especially in these 4 areas. And we will also in touch with Mr. Kochek, sir. If anyone want to explore specifically in railways or in defense, so we will contact Mr. Kochek, sir. And I hope that Kochek, sir, is always available with us, available for us.
Yes.
And the most important thing I would like to explain that there are 3 to 4 things which every engineer has to have. And I will send the photographs of PPT to all the students. So that was that were about your code of conduct with your colleagues, with your friends, and with your officers, especially students, and learning. The sir has told us about that there are things which every human being, that lifelong learning. So every 6 months you have to have special skill. You have to have learn new technologies by using some books or website or any social media, from any social media platform. So these are the things which we have learned from Professor Kochak, and there are so many other things which we will discuss in our own in our classes. So thank you very much, Kochak sir. Uh, I have I don't have enough words to express my gratitude to you. So because nowadays there are so many social media platforms, number of people giving lectures, but the thing is that they are generally journal lectures. But you have shown us a roadmap to our students or and faculty members that these are the 8 to 10 tracks where all mechanical engineers can move their career train. So thank you, Kochak sir. Thank you very much. And in future also we will invite you. So I request all students to note down this mobile number which you are seeing in the presentation. So if you have any query, you can contact Mr. Kochik from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So thank you, sir. I thanks to I also thank to all my colleagues, all organizers, especially Tala Khan sir for arranging this lecture, Pavaninder sir, Pravesh sir, Ganesh sir for coordinating this event, and all faculty member who are counselor to motivate students to join this webinar. So thank you very much. Thank you all students. Thank you, Ravi Kochak sir.
Thanks a lot. There was one question by Samyak. He says, tell about opportunities in foundry sector. Should I take a minute more?
Yes, sir, definitely.
So, Samyak, I think Samyak has left, but anyways, the foundry, I mean, foundry is used in all the transport components and machines for castings, and even in the railways. We have huge foundries. We have rail wheel factory at Bangalore and at Bela, and we even for cars the engines are cast, the different components are cast. Then there is SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. There's Jindal Steel. So there are a lot of foundries are there which will take mechanical engineers. Foundry is a mechanical engineering subject basically, metallurgical, but it comes as part of mechanical also. So I hope that it answers. So with that, I will take your leave. Thank you very much for your support, and I thank and wish all the faculty and students all the very best in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.